Corima is dedicated to northern Mexico. People eat with their eyes, and some stuff can be off-putting. In order for you to submerge yourself into what we have to offer, it's much easier to not show you a menu. Sometimes it feels like if you read it, you don't want to eat it. We just believe that you can trust us. We earned our first Michelin star 11 months in of opening. And our mission in this restaurant is to discover what Mexican cuisine is, was, and it could be. We believe that Mexican cuisine deserves a seat at the table of fine dining, and we're here to represent it. Hello guys, my name is Fidel Caballero, chef owner of Corima here in Chinatown, New York City. Come on in, we got a long prep list. Corima is 54 seats. We usually do about 100 covers. We have 2 different menus. We have a tasting and a la carte. I'm gonna start doing some animal butchery. Let's go get the whole lamb. So this is where we keep most of our ending product of ferments, our misos, garums, and lacto fermentation. Down it, we have these beautiful dry aged pork that we serve. We truly believe on dry aging our proteins. And today we're gonna do this guy. We usually order to get slaughtered as soon as we order them. We do put like about 10 days of dry age on it before we even get to butchering. With age, it kind of tenderizes it. We designed this kitchen in a circular way, where we can all share techniques, stories, our personal lives, and we usually prep around this table, making it a little more cohesive. And then this is comado, where all the tortillas are done. We use a wok to cook our tortillas. First of all, we drink some mate. Mate is tea that it's very caffeinated. South America drinks a lot of it. I guess it's the next step after drinking so much coffee. When coffee stops doing anything, like stops doing the thing, you lean into harder stuff like mate. This is Ezequiel Corona. He's our CDC, our chef de cuisine. You know, one of the talented chefs I've ever worked with. We're gonna break down this lamb, today's lamb. We like to break the whole animal together so we can actually determine how fatty it is. People always want ribeyes, people always want strips. Nobody really talks about chucks, you know? And chucks are like shoulders, like beef shoulders are so beautiful. And that's why we get whole animals, because we can decide how to butcher, how fresh it is. All this fat gets rendered to cook our morels. Instead of buying lamb fat to do what we want, we'd rather just get the lamb. You know, I mean, come on, look at the freshness. Like the organs are like, that's the heart. The heart's like super beautiful. But that's why we're gonna share our menu at the beginning, because again, we believe that we can make like lamb hearts pretty tasty, you know. We should have a duck heart taco. People were super skeptical, and when they had it, people were just so obsessed with it. The way we prepare it, and again, sustainability, people throw away the organs. Organs are delicious. The dish that we're doing now, it's a lamb taco. It's a morel stuffed with sausage. It's a meatball. We serve it with a puree made out of Italian artichoke hearts. Serve it with raw artichokes sliced very thinly, some wild spring onions, some jalapeno vinegar, and finish it with miner's lettuce. Serve it in a blue corn masa tortilla. Sometimes people add like fat or butter. We use brain in our sausage. You know, we use it to kind of cream out the sausage when we're processing it and seasoning it. We don't want to use a lot of fat because then it just melts inside of the morel when we do the sausage. Well, lamb's looking awesome. You know, we're kind of pretty much done with the whole animal butchery. Now it's time to head to tortilla production. So now we're gonna check on Selvin. He's our mastermind behind the tortillas. We do something a little not so typical, a sourdough flour tortilla. It's usually made with lard. Flour tortillas, when we were pop-up, we did it with chicken fat. And then when we opened the restaurant, we wanted for it to be for everyone and for vegetarians as well. And we decided to switch to butter. This is a sourdough starter that we had for many, many years. 6-year-old sourdough starter. His name is Juanito. In the north, there's different types of flour tortillas. I'm from Chihuahua myself. The concept of Corima is from Chihuahua. We decided that the best tortilla, don't tell my grandma, but it's from Sonora. You know, it's like the best one. So the sourdough's for flavor more than anything. We wanted something tangy. And this is kind of our take on bread and butter. We serve one tortilla, and that's when like dinner really starts. It's when you grab the tortilla and you hand somebody like a piece of bread. And I think it's a beautiful thing. It talks community, it talks what we believe in. And right now we do a kind of a mix between the flour, the butter, and the water. Our butter is also mixed between Hokkaido butter, Chihuahuan Amish butter, and New York State butter. With a little bit of salt. And then we add the sourdough starter. It turns into kind of like a batter, so it's very hard to handle. That's what we decided to, kind of like press them beforehand. It was so hard to roll them. We were rolling them before. It's not just a press, it's actually a comal. It's a hot press, like shirt printing. These two different planchas that heat up and sets the tortilla. And when we cook it, we spray the bottom and the top of our plancha. And then we just like press it very quickly, about 3 seconds. Yeah, we bring it upstairs for service and we cook it on an upside down wok. It takes about like 25 seconds to cook this tortilla. So the reason why we part cook it is to shape it. It's much easier to manipulate it during service. We heat this up about 98 Celsius. The hardest part of this tortilla is about to happen right now, which is portioning it. It's like, trying to hold water, with your hands and kind of weight water and like kind of shape it. So Cedric and I, we're gonna portion some of those right now. And then we're gonna come over here and press them. So we usually spray our hands to obviously maintain from sticking. So we're gonna let Cedric keep on with his tortilla making while we butcher some fish. Right now on the menu, we do have Spanish turbot. Beautiful. We also put an age on turbot for 10 days. We do serve it with corn husk sauce with this liquor that we like to use called mixta and caviar. Some plankton as well. Plankton is recently it was brought to us by the fish company that we use. We decided to make a film with it. I think turbot is one of my favorite fishes to serve. Right now we're poaching in Bermonte very lightly. We usually grill it as well. It takes grilled very well. I think turbot is one of those versatile fishes and it's very meaty. I mean, flatfish is probably one of the easiest ones to break down for me. It kind of like already tells you where it is. I like to do the incision first in the middle. Go around this side. Kind of mark it. The whole kitchen is very into turbot. Some of us have them on the wall. Some of us even have tattoos of it. Chef Monster has a tattoo of big fans of turbot. There's a lot of people that kind of want to take pictures of the kitchen team after dinner. It started becoming like kind of like a joke of like wearing like different props. Maybe, can you put your hat on? His name is Melvin. He's a grill chef and he does meat roasts and so sometimes he cooks with a hat. He's the French cowboy. He's French and so he wears this cool hat. Look at him. We're done with the butchery of the fish. Sophia, my wife, and we're opening up a bar, down the street, kind of the extension of Corima. So we're doing the finishing touches at the bar. It's called Chucho. So we're just gonna check it out. Gonna do the finishing touches.
What's up, player?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good to see you. Good?
We're here to meet with Jesse Kranzler. He's a project manager. And Vince, which is our GM. And we're gonna finish up the last touches before we open. We've been in 10 days, so we got pictures on Sunday. So we're there.
So maybe this color paper?
What do you think?
Or you like white?
I like yellow.
Yellow?
I like the Market Street, like the thing, because it's very Instagrammable and people already know.
I mean, if they're here, they know what address it is. They don't have to read it. So
Exactly.
We have you want to see the kitchen?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, ¿cómo está? This is Chef Hector. He's the chef of Bar Chucho. We started with the idea of making one taco. Like a month before we opened, I decided to do a whole different menu, and now we have this, I think, a very awesome menu.
We put a card up here.
Wow. Yeah. I wasn't completely sold on them, and now that I see them here, they're beautiful.
The other thing that's funny, which
That you don't
of
know?
course drives me crazy, but we're measuring, and then we realized yesterday when we're actually putting these up that these lights are completely different spacing apart. But who cares? You didn't notice that.
We're gonna finish some, conversations downstairs, and then we're gonna head back to Corima. We're back at Corima doing all the prep that we need to do before service. It's kind of crunch time. We got half an hour before we do family meal, and after family meal, we slide right into service. These are Massachusetts scallops. They're beautiful Yucatan scallops that we use for our crudo. So the dish has kind of like a reminiscence of aguachile or ceviche. Right now we're doing a whey and pineapple aguachile, which is like the broth with pine. We seasoned the scallops with chayote squash, a little bit of yuzu kosho, and olive oil. Slice it, we put it between jicama. That's our first course. For me, scallops and shellfish is better in the winter. We didn't want to let this winter go by without us using some scallops. So they dive for them on a daily basis. Sometimes they kind of have them. So we jump in between purveyors and we see what we like the most and who has them to offer and whatnot. And we're gonna finish this scallop. It's the last scallop that we have. Then we're gonna check in with the rest of the crew, see if it can be any, if I can be of any assistance. We're about to go into pre-service. Now we tone down the lighting, we make it a little more zen, it's a little more focused. We change into our service uniforms, and now we need to feed 100 people. Let's get to it.
Today on the books, we have 94 guests, 43 confirmed tastings, 16 all day unannounced tasting menus. That gives us just shy of 17 place push tasting menus today. 2 top, table 25. This is a food influencer, about 22,000 followers on Instagram. Now let's just make sure they have a good time. Chef, you take that?
Everyone's here, we have extra hands, we have everything. So food's gonna be coming out extra quick, only better for you guys and for your guests. So let's please be on top of it.
On that note, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Service is about to get very intense, so it's time for you guys to leave. Thank you so much for spending time with us.